talk about this, the Biden economy, and welcome in GOP spokesperson Paris Dennard. Also with us, former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell. Great to have you both with us.
Hi, John.
All right,
Thanks for having me.
The Fed has not raised interest rates like this in almost 30 years, but they had to respond to the soaring inflation and volatile markets we've seen. Governor, first to you on this. Was the Fed too slow to raise interest rates?
Probably. I'm not a monetary expert, but most people I've talked to in business said, too slow. When you have the highest inflation now in 40 years, most of us could see it coming. The erratic stock market. This has all happened because of the unbelievable amount of money that's been pumped in the economy by the federal government, adding now up to $31 trillion in the national debt this president has helped to rack up in the last year and a half. I think more in a year and a half than any other president has done during a 4 or 8 year term. And so, inflation at historic levels, John, was probably not unanticipated. Remember the good old days of Donald Trump where we had mortgage rates about 2.5%, low gas prices, stable stock market, actually rising. And now with the Biden economy, it's turning upside down and he's still blaming Donald Trump. Yeah. I think he's got to take responsibility. I think the Fed's probably doing the right thing now to try to put an arrest on inflation, but it's late to be doing what they're doing.
Governor, I remember the good old days interviewing you at the 2012 Republican convention, and they had a debt clock up in the arena in Tampa, and I think it was like $12 trillion back then, and we were all worried about it. Now it's at $30 trillion. So, yeah, that's been going on for a long time. Paris, let's talk about Joe Biden's kind of tone yesterday. He yelled into the microphone, blaming Republicans at the AFL-CIO union convention. He blamed President Trump for the deficit and the debt. Let's take a listen.
So when they come to you and talk about big spenders, let them know almost $2 trillion in deficit reduction. I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending. We're changing people's lives.
Paris, they're changing people's lives, just not in the way Joe Biden intended in that speech.
Well, first of all, happy birthday to Governor McDonnell. I think today is your birthday, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I had no idea. Happy birthday, Governor. Great job, Paris.
Yeah,
Scooping me on that.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. And the second point is we need leadership coming from Joe Biden. We're not getting it from the Democrats. We're not getting it from the Biden-Harris administration. And no matter how many times he yells at the American people or whispers at the American people, it's not going to change the reality that his administration has caused so many crises, especially from an economic standpoint. And so the American people are looking for a leader who's going to tell them the truth and is going to do something to change their lives in a positive way and not hurt them. Yelling at the American people, whispering at the American people is not going to change the fact that his policies has caused gas to go up by historic numbers, record inflation, baby food formula crises, open borders, and instability not only in Ukraine, but also in the Middle East. We have a problem with the leadership coming out of D.C., but that's why I believe that voters are going to hold him accountable come November. Not just Joe Biden, but all the Democrats who continue to push his radical, progressive, liberal agenda.
Paris, I want to stay with you for this question, then we'll get back to Governor McDonnell here. We saw this historic victory last night for Mayra Flores. She will be the first Mexican-born member of Congress. She's a Republican. Talk about this, Paris. What did we learn last night?
It's a historic win, no doubt. I mean, she came here legally when she was 6 years old. It shows that the Republican Party is a party of legal immigration. It shows the promise of what you can do when you have faith and belief in this country. It shows that the map has changed. Republicans can be competitive in Democrat districts. It looks like we were competitive in Virginia. That was a blue state, turned red with Governor Glenn Youngkin. We saw that not only with Mayra Flores' historic win, we saw it in South Carolina with down ballot races like Harriet Holman, Dorchester County, District 1 councilwoman. She switched her party from the Democrat Party to the Republican Party. She's a black Republican now. And she said the Democrat Party no longer represents my values. And she won last night along with Mayra Flores. This shows that the Republican Party is diverse, inclusive, growing, and we're going to win big with minority voters and minority candidates come November.
I'm just making a note here of how far down the ballot we actually went to Dorchester County Commission. Great job, Paris. MVP for this segment. Happy birthday to Governor McDonnell again. And just wanted to get your reaction to what we saw last night down in Texas, Governor.
Well, I'm right there with Paris. I mean, this is historic. Hillary Clinton won that district by 33%, and now a Republican, Mayra Flores, wins by 8%. It's a 40% turnaround in 6 years in an 80% Hispanic district. Again, 150 years since the Republicans won there. I think this is a harbinger of things to come. You remember when Christie and I won in 2010, we picked up 63 House seats and 6 Senate seats that year. That's kind of the normal order in the midterm elections for the last 150 years. But I think with the way gas prices are and inflation, the safety on the streets right now is so bad. You saw what happened in San Francisco with a recall. Even San Francisco's believe you ought to have public safety. I think there's going to be a colossal red wave this year for all the reasons that Paris outlined. Is people just want law and order, they want good schools, they want low taxes, they want limited debt, they want more access.
They want
to
what we had just 2 years ago. They want what we had what we seemed to have just 2 years ago. Gentlemen, great to see you again. Happy birthday, Governor. Paris.
Okay, John, thank you.
Great to have you with us as well.